Good morning. The presentation today will be about the Internet of Things. The Internet of Things is a network that allows physical devices to communicate and connect to each other. Those devices are often called smart devices or IoT devices, and they range from simple sensors, smartphones, medical devices, means of transportation, and even home appliances. The rapid introduction of those smart devices to the life of consumers raises the question, to what extent has smart technology become a threat to the safety of consumers? An answer to this question is that smart technology become a threat to the safety of consumers due to the lack of security measures taken by the manufacturers, which leads to hacking attacks that causes malfunction of those devices. The smart devices allow consumers to complete daily tasks in an easier and faster way. For example, turning on the lights by using voice command, or locking the door by using your smartphone. So those devices also collect information from consumers. They're often used by corporations, government, companies, manufacturers that use those informations in order to save time and money in the process of developing and delivering new services and products. Thanks to the popularity of devices, the number of devices being used increased from 8.7 billion devices to 50.1 billion devices between 2012 to 2020. With the rush production of those smart devices, many manufacturers focus more on selling their product quickly than taking the necessary precautions of creating a safer network with safe devices. And to prove that, in the Samsung Open Economy document, they allege that business will need to securely manage over 7.3 billion connected endpoints by 2020, meaning they need to make more than 7.3 billion devices secure by their manufacturers. There are some other major issues about the Internet of Things, which is such as the compatible senders, meaning that many devices are connected to one compatible sender, which it helps in the communication. However, many hackers only need to go through one compatible sender to have access to multiple devices. Another major issue is the use of weak passwords, meaning those passwords are not strong enough to make the invasions not successful. So just to clarify a little bit more, what is hacking? What is a hacker? According to dictionary.com, a hacker is a person who circumvents security and breaks into a network computer, file, etc., often but not always with malicious intent, meaning they can have access and full control of devices by breaking into the network, with some with malicious intents, with wanting to get the information or the full control device to. So many smart devices like a smart lock, a smart camera, or a video doorbell are used for security purpose, where those devices send real-time updates of the house to the resident. And also the resident, by installing those smart security devices, they can monitor the whole house through an app, whatever they are, when online. They also have full control of the devices, meaning they can lock and unlock the door, turn on or turn off the lights when inside or outside of the house. However, as mentioned, all the devices connected to the network are under risk of hacking attacks. Meaning that the hacker can have access to the house through features such as the smart lock, the smart camera, when they wanted to have information or access to the house. Meaning that attack against a smart lock can allow a burglar to enter the house and invade the smart house, which will put the life of the people living there under risk. To prove that, home appliances have been target to hacking attacks, back in 2014, a smart fridge like this one shown in the slide was discovered sending 750,000 spam emails in a burst of 100,000 emails at a time for three days after a web managed to compromise that smart gadget. Some means of transportation that are also connected to the Internet of Things are under risk of hacking attacks, which can cause malfunctions of those vehicles. The security researchers Charlie Miller and Chris Velasak they proved that the potential dangers of smart cars. What they did was that they executed a wireless hack into a Jeep, like this one showed right here, and they were able to change the position of the wheel, engage or disable the breakers, and also stop the accelerator from working, which causes a risk because with more malfunction of those cars can cause an increase in the accident in traffic. A risk that actually happened in 2008 when a 14-year-old boy, as a prank, invaded the controlling systems of Lords of Poland. He made several trains to change tracks in this rail, causing many injuries and derailment. With this new technology, some medical devices like the implanted insulin pump, like this one, and the pacemaker are connected to the internet for a more efficient functioning according to the real-time updates of the patient's well-being and health. However, if they're connected to the internet, they're under risk of hacking attacks, meaning that if a hacker can have the ability to change the function of those medical devices, it puts the patient's health and well-being under risk, which may lead to death. Back in 2015, in the Black Hat conference, like this one, the hacker named Jake Radcliffe, who has diabetes, he proved that it was not hard to invade into an implanted insulin pump and send lethal doses of the insulin to patients. A year later, another hacker using his laptop also invaded a pacemart and delivered lethal electric shocks to the patient. However, there are some solutions that we can come up with. The first one is that governments should establish some laws and policies that require the machines to be secure before selling, which will obligate manufacturers and companies to create a more secure network and secure devices. However, due to the large scale of devices already being in use and like the variety of different models in use, there is a limitation to the solution, which is like they cannot update the system and they cannot send this upgrade to more than billions of devices, which would probably not be affected. However, the user itself can make the network a little bit safer by using stronger passwords or setting up guest networks in their Wi-Fi, which will allow the person that is like a guest in their house to connect into a different Wi-Fi. And also they can also purchase VPN services, which translates to virtual private network. The VPN service allowed the user to have privacy online, creating a private network from public networks, and can also make the Wi-Fi hotspot secure. Thank you.
All right, I do have 2 questions for you. First question, let's talk about your sources. How valid and reliable were the sources that you use, and then how do you know that they were?
I would say my sources are between tier 3, tier 1, because they are from reliable newspapers and peer review sources. And what I did to make sure they were actually reliable is that before I enter into reading the article, I used to make a little research about the source itself, like if the newspaper reliable. And even I looked at the author to see if they have a knowledge about the area. And also my sources also are really pretty recent. They come from 2017, 2018, 2019.
Okay. And if you could give advice to someone who is doing a project on this topic, what would you say?
So advice I will give to someone that is researching about this topic is to be really careful in the websites or the companies you're looking for, because many of the times I used to look at an article talking really good about the smart devices, and when I looked at a company, it was a company that actually sold those devices. So meaning they have this, they're gonna do a good, like show the good part and then only talk about the good parts to sell those devices. So to be really careful before like looking at the sources.
Okay.